And we're back again.
Hey, brother, here we are.
With our friend.
Deja vu all over again.
That's like Brother Larry Carter. How in the world are you doing, brother?
Brother, I'm good. It's good to be in person with you.
I hear you. We're doing this here in Joplin, Missouri at our church. Brother Carter was with us, going to be with us tomorrow as well. And man, I've had a lot of people, a lot of different players that we've talked to, or that I've talked to, and the one question that I get asked a lot, and you probably get asked this a lot too, is how does Brother Larry Carter get that tone that he gets? So how do you get that tone?
Well, thank you for asking, brother. It's funny, I'm always on a quest for better tones, and I'll get a new pedal and I'll get it dialed in, and my wife will say, "Oh, listen to that," and my wife says, "It sounds no different. It sounds just like you." So which lets me know, I think we as guitar players, we have a sound we like, and no matter what pedal we have, we're going to pull it in to fit our tone. But I think what probably differentiates me a little bit from a lot of guitar players is the fact that I use my fingers on the right hand.
Yeah, no picks.
Right. So you're hearing a fleshy tone versus a pick tone, which. And I will use the end of my nail, but so typically I'm using it. So it gives a little more of a mellower tone in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But I can't get aggressive. When I dig in with the end of that into that finger.
And are you using like your fingernail or?
Yes, I use the nail on the right hand. I don't really grow it out, but I use it and if I can do the pinch harmonics like a pick player would do. So I'll vary back and forth between my fingers and the end of my finger depending on if I need the dynamics of the attack.
So what made you not use a pick? How did you get into that?
The earliest I remember is never having one, and I do remember taking a milk jug and
we've all done that.
Yeah, and cut it in. Yeah, it's like drummers in boxes, or whatever pans, but I remember cutting and I discovered years ago that I really couldn't hold on to a pick. They slide around. Now, if I'm cutting acoustic for a studio track, I'll use a pick for the country stuff or whatever. Yeah. But I really struggle with holding on to picks, even the Dunlop, whatever. They slide around, and in the middle of that song, I'm going, man, I have to repunch this in because my picks sit around. So it's never been comfortable, and these guys that can vacillate between one here and fingers I think is fascinating. I can't do that. So I never grew up using one.
See, I know some guys, they use a thumb pick, and then they don't really do thumb picking, but they use a thumb pick to do stuff. I use a pick, then I'm grabbing.
Yeah, you're grabbing with your and of course the Chet Atkins type style, the finger thumb style stuff, where Chet would use a thumb pick. I use my thumb like this. So I'm technically doing what a thumb player would do, but there's no set direction. Because I use my fingers at any given time to do like you do. I do or if I want to do an arpeggio, I can roll my fingers, right?
Yeah. And you're using all four fingers.
Yes. So.
I'll use these three. I hardly ever grab with my pinky.
And then I will go back to that, which is kind of like a pick player would do. But I have that flexibility to move in and out of those positions.
So you can do banjo rolls.
Yes, right, yeah. That kind of thing. Yes.
Can you play a banjo?
Not really.
Yeah.
I can fake it. People think I can, but I'm really. I mean, I can get a roll going, but
I'm not a banjo player,
No.
but I play one on TV.
People think that I'm playing it, but I don't know any. There's certain rolls they use, that patterns and that.
So a banjo player would know that you're not a banjo
They
player.
would know. Yeah.
Hey, let's look at your
Yes.
pedal board here.
Yeah.
So you're coming into the tuner
Yes.
first.
So I decided I quit using digital effects because I don't know how to program them. I
Yeah,
think
because everybody's using the Helix.
the
these-
Helix, and they all sound great. I want something I can reach down and turn a knob, and none of this is programmable really. So I'm coming into the tuner. I've got the Polytune, which shows all 6 at once.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, which is it's a nice tuner. And then
Wow. Now I didn't know that did that.
Yes, yeah.
So you can tune all your strings at
yeah,
once.
I'm just hitting all 6, and it shows all 6 of them.
So that A is
The
out.
A's a little sharp right there, and I just pulled it in.
So if it's flat, what does it show?
Of course, I can hit individuals, but
No, it goes underneath it. I
Yes,
got
yes.
you. Okay. Sweet. I
so
like that.
and then I can hit individual strings,
Yeah.
and they make a clip-on version of that as well,
Okay.
and it's a great tuner. And then from there, I go to a compressor. Compressor pretty much stays on all the time. The Dynacomp, which are a great compressor, but they tend to me, I can hear that because they were really popular in the 70s and 80s in country. They squeeze a little too much. This one's a little more transparent,
But you want
so it's a little transparent. I kind of, if I ran it without it,
Oh, you
so
can hear it.
it's
yeah.
really a boost for me.
It's not really squeezing.
No,
that
it doesn't
much.
squeeze.
Okay.
And then from there, I go. This is a Barber direct drive, and it's just my first level of drive. Actually, my first level of drive would be here. I typically my foundation is very clean. I don't want any overdrive at all in my, because I do a lot of very clean stuff.
See, I would swear there's some coarse in there somewhere.
Yeah, and it's not. There's not, but it sounds like it. So I can use this one once in a while if I want just a slight amount of gain without really like. It's still pretty clean, but when I jump on it a little, you can hear it break up. I'll use that once in a while, but going through my signal chain, my first drive it's just a straight up good overdrive. So and then if I want to go into like a heavier solo stuff, I'll go into a lot more gain.
Okay, now let's talk about, before we get to the other stuff, let's talk
Yes.
about this real quick. You're playing 8s on your guitar.
Yes, and there's I guess the main reason is I've had some issues with my fingertips, and I needed.
Well, I thought you was doing it just because it was easier.
Well, it is easier and it's less pain.
Yeah.
It's easier to bend 8s than it is to bend 9s because I'm a bender. I bend quite heavily, and I saw a YouTube thing the other day, and I forget who the thing. It might have been Rick Beato, but they were talking. They compared the same guitars with
different
8s,
strings.
9s, and 10s.
I saw that, yeah.
And 8s were basically sounding as good as the others. Everybody thinks the heavier string, the bigger tone.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily, but 8s. The downside of 8s is if you're not a very accurate player with your left hand on your chords, you'll bend them out.
Yeah.
So you really need to be an accurate player to play eights well. And then there's a little adjustment when you go from nines to eights. You're gonna overbend a little at first,
Right.
But you'll adjust very quick. But I noticed that when I was having pain with losing my calluses, eights were just a little less painful to bend.
Yeah.
But I like eights.
Now you have to order those. don't you?
Yeah, I typically do. So I float my tremolo. Is it okay if we're
Yeah.
jumping away from the pedals? But I float my tremolo on my Strat, so the G string comes up a full step. The great things about Stratocasters is they don't make them any different than they did in 1954. You have strings, you have springs.
Now, so they'll don't know when you say float your tremolo.
Yes. So basically, there's springs in the back. I go to 3 springs and I shoot them. My other ones have the thing off, but there's a battery in this one. But I do them 2 going in and then 1 in the center, so the diagonal. And I loosen the springs to where.
So this is a whole lot easier to.
Right. So I can bring it a full step right there. The beauty of the Stratocaster is you have equilibrium between strings and springs. They built it that way in '54, and the only thing that really messes that up would be binding in the nut. Which, if you treat the nut well, because I can
And you're in tune.
Oh yeah, and all my
So now just do that again. So when you did that, you're like, there's nothing. That's like open.
Yeah, and it's pulling my. And I'm back to.
But that's
So
not every Strat is going to do that. Or you think most of them will?
all of mine pretty much do.
Okay.
Even without locking tuners.
Okay.
This does have lockings, but I found that if you get the balance right between the springs and the strings, and you get some good graphite in your nut. Sometimes you have to work a nut down a little bit with a file, but you're going to get it where there's no resistance, so it'll stay in tune really well. I have a couple of classic Vibe Squires, and I can do the same thing with those.
But on the same, well, I want to get to your position playing too. But on the same note, in today's modern praise and worship music, they're not doing a lot of bending, if any bending at all.
Right. Yeah, tremolo. The tremolo's been really I love the bending, and between the bending and the tremolo, and just a little. It really sounds good to me.
You sound like if Jeff Beck got the Holy Ghost.
Oh yeah, Jeff, what a great player. That kind of thing, and it's just a little tremolo here and there. I have to be careful not to overplay it.
And then the way you work your volume.
Volume pedal or the volume. I've used a pedal years ago, but I always gravitated to my little finger, so the whole thing is you're taking away the attack. So if I by hitting the string and rolling it instantly.
I love that.
Neat effect. There's limitations. I can do. I can do steel licks. Now there are some. If I had a volume pedal, it really opens me up to. That's hard to do while I'm pulling the knob. So if you set up a Strat right, they're so versatile, and going on to the bridge pickup in a Strat is about as close as you can get to a Tele. I love Telecasters. I own a Tele, but I find it's easier probably to get. I've got more dimensions with a Strat, and of course this is the Lincoln Brewster Strat, and it has a 12 dB boost.
Yeah.
So when I pull this knob up, it boosts it 12, and this gets me really into Tele. Really close to a Tele.
James Burton, Brent Mason stuff. Yeah.
And so and of course with rock. But for clean stuff, when I'm singing, I love the second position. It's such a musical sound to me, which a Tele doesn't really do that well.
So back to your pedals. Well,
Yes.
If we don't get back to the pedals, we won't get back to it.
Okay. Yes.
So there's no chorus.
No chorus.
Okay.
So we're going on. This is the Barber. This is the JHS Andy Timmons model, overdrive.
Texas boy.
Yeah, he's a great guy, man. A great player. I've met him. He's such a neat guy. And then, so this here is my preamp. I don't use an actual amp live, but this is a preamp. This is made by Custom Tones Ethos, and it was built to clone a Dumble, really.
Okay.
But the clean tone on it is.
So that's an amp without the speaker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's got.
But we were looking at some of those models the other way.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a very well made one. It's still in production. I think it's still in production. There was like a 2-year wait when they came out. It was amazing, and it's very versatile. I do not use the distortion channel on it.
Okay.
For some reason, I just don't bond with it.
Yeah.
Then from there, I go to a Wampler. This is my reverb.
Now, why would you go out to your reverbs after the amp?
Typically, all the modulation effects should run after. They should run at the end of your signal chain, typically.
Right.
Now, if you're running straight into an amp, you would have to, unless you use a effects loop. But typically, you want your.
Right.
It seems to work best for me.
And if you're going from drive to clean, you got a little bit of trail to give you something to change into. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So, and you were mentioning it sounds like a chorus. This pedal is the Andy Timmons Halo. I've got 2 Andy Timmons pedals. Got that one and this one. This one, if you hit it, there's actually 2 delays going on there, and when they after they start to dissipate, they kind of go into a what's the word? Like almost a detuning.
Right.
And it gives you that Corsi. And that's just that pedal, really. If I kill my verb.
That's all delay.
Yes.
So you're saying if you lose that pedal, that's going to lose that Corsi sound.
Yes, exactly. Because that's
kill it.
yeah. That's basically. Let's see.
Then it's dry. Yeah.
And then use a little bit of a verb, but you really don't even need a verb
Not with that hand.
with that pedal. No, it's really.
But,
One thing I'm gonna buy, they make an expression that lets you add or take away more of the effect.
yeah.
Free time. But I find it's pretty comfortable right there for most stuff. Because if I'm playing it's a nice pedal.
Very nice pedal.
Yes.
So when you go play live, this is your.
This is my rig. Yeah, I've got another pedal board at home that I've got some different pedals on that I can kind of get close to this, but this is kind of my A rig. I'm pretty happy with it, really. You know, you love the sound of a real amp kind of thumping
Yeah.
behind you. You know, I miss that, but this really does well. It really does well for me.
Well, everybody's running direct these days.
Yes, they are, and you know, I think digital modeling has come so far, and this unit's probably outdated somewhat compared to the new UA Dream, but this really still has a great clean sound to me. It really still sounds like an amp.
So if anybody's looking at this board and they're like, gosh, I want to get something. I don't know if I can have the Larry Carter board or not, but if there's one thing on this board that you're like, okay, this is what you need to have more. I have one in my mind, but you tell me
Yeah.
what you would think would be the one thing.
You know what? I don't know. I'm really leaning towards the Halo pedal.
The Halo? Yeah, okay.
You weren't.
I was not. I was
No.
leaning more towards the
The
Ethos.
Ethos is great. Yeah, it is. It's the foundation, and sometimes I forget that. I'm loving this new pedal so much. I was using another delay and verb together, but it was just giving me like a dun dun dun. It was a great delay, but I keep forgetting how foundational that pedal is. Because really, honestly, I could play without. And it really sounds good.
But when you turn the amp off, when you bypass,
Yeah.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
no, turn that thing back on.
I know it just. You know, and these are on the secondary market. I don't know if you can still order them, but they're $550, $6, right in that price range. You can buy they do one that just does the clean only.
Yeah.
You can buy for like $275, and they sound great. But you know, this pedal board is subject to change at any given.
So the next time you see Larry Carter, where's that Halo?
But,
Oh, it's a
but
new
the
Halo.
simple, I like a fairly simple. I like a couple of drives in front of my clean amp sound, and then a couple of delays. I don't need chorus, really.
Not with the sound you're getting.
No,
Yeah. It's there. It's
Yeah.
already there. And we have to say this while we're here talking about this guitar. This is a Lincoln Brewster guitar.
Lincoln Brewster.
And people are going to say, "Wow, that Larry Carter has been playing the fool out of that guitar."
This is interesting because I bought a brand new one, and and I wouldn't play it. I played it like once or twice.
A Lincoln Brewster?
Yeah, I bought a brand new one, and it was very glossy, and it was so glossy that I thought, plus it was new, and I didn't want to play a new guitar because I'm gonna bang it up, you know, and because that's what I do. I bang them up, I play them, and a pastor in Oklahoma contacted me about selling one of my guitars to a young man in his church. His mother wanted to buy it for him, and I thought, wow, he wanted to buy my my Jeff Beck, and and my Seafoam Green. I said no, and then he found a picture of me playing my first Lincoln Brewster. I was at some church. I think I was at Philip Wagner's church.
Okay.
You know Philip Wagner?
Right.
Yeah, in Henderson, Kentucky. And he said, how about that guitar? And I thought, yeah, I'd only played it like one time, you know. And sure. And so I went there and sold it to him, and he just loves the guitar.
Now, it looks like this, except
yes.
it's not road
Okay,
worn.
and so what happened is I started missing the DB boost, and then the mid boost.
Right.
The pickups are great sounding pickups, locking tuners. This has a 12 to I think a 16 radius, so it's compound, so it gets flatter as you go up, and it's just.
So you can get on down the neck more.
Yeah, you can get with a lower action.
Yeah.
Without it, you know, you don't have the concave neck, and so I would say, man, if they weren't so polyurethane or whatever they do on the, and I found one. I was just looking for a used one, and I found one where the guy said, I removed the finish. Well, value-wise, it wasn't worth as much, but I bought it and just love it because it's just got a lot less.
See, I thought you bought this
Yes.
road worn, but the guy that you bought it from
Yeah, he actually
removed the finish.
took it off, but it's I don't have the shiny finish on it, so it's basically took away several years of wear and tear. And I like it. It's
So it was bought like this, is what we're trying
yes,
to
I
say.
bought it used. I bought it used like this. And right now though, this guitar it really plays great.
It does, yeah.
Have you felt it?
I did feel of it a little
Okay,
bit.
yeah, I
Not,
mean-
not in front of you, though.
You said that.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, so
Yeah.
thanks for being with us. Let's,
Yes.
we're going to play
Yeah.
a little course of something to
Yeah.
get us out of here.
Yes.